We've got a traffic alert to begin the night team with you here, folks. Breaking news right now on the WHAS 1119 this Friday night. Take a look. This is a live view from Tri-Mile cameras. A major ramp in eastern Jefferson County is now shut down. An overturned semi at I-64 and the Gene Snyder Freeway is causing traffic delays. All lanes of the Gene Snyder northbound ramp, again the ramp from I-64 west, again to northbound Gene Snyder, were shut down at about 9:30 tonight. According to Metro Police, no injuries have been reported. Big tow trucks are on the scene to try and clear things up sometime this evening. By the way, this is the third semi that is overturned on this very ramp since June. Keep in mind, this is a pretty brand new ramp. It opened just last August of last year, and crews worked on this ramp as recently as May. And now here at 11, we want to switch our cameras to take you live up to the Kennedy Bridge over the Ohio River. Those are the southbound lanes that come from Indiana right into Louisville. At 8 o'clock tonight, Kentucky Highway crews closed the left 3 lanes of the Kennedy Bridge. You can see there in the upper left part of your screen pretty clearly there, limiting access to I-65 South. And this is going to be lasting all weekend long. And thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt. The work is underway because of the harrowing crashes we've seen involving semis that have been happening since Derby morning, all happening on rainy days. So the state is adding a special new substance at the end of the bridge to help add traction to the concrete. WHAS 1119's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Emma Gefter are talking to local towing companies about this stretch, and they have also viewed the construction with our Sky 11 drone tonight as it got started. And Clarice is live near the repair work to give us a look. Clarice.
Well, Doug, a good look at that work we are getting. This is one of the reasons why I-65 South areas of that are closed for the weekend and expect to be closed until Monday at 5 in the morning. Now, crews are hard at work here at one of those work zones. They're working to repair some joints in the road here at Hospital Curve. But of course, this is one area. Another area they're working at is the Kennedy Bridge. Right after that, they're putting in epoxy treatment to help tires grip to the concrete. This is the exact area where 4 semi-crashes have happened since May, and local towing companies tell me they hope that this treatment helps. A bird's eye view from our Sky 11 drone over work on I-65 South off the Kennedy Bridge as it begins Friday night. This area to the Witherspoon Street overpass is closed for the weekend. The state of Kentucky is adding a special traction to the roadway, an epoxy right over the concrete. Morgan Woodrum of the Louisville, Kentucky Transportation Office talked with us by phone.
The installation of a high friction surface treatment will help to improve traction in wet conditions and will also extend the life of the concrete.
Because there's been a lot of semi-crashes in that exact same spot.
A well-known problem area for local towing companies. Paul Dillon with Mosby's Towing.
The road's it's real slippery, especially when it rains. Since
Derby weekend, one semi-crash after another on rainy days, 4 in nearly the same stretch, 2 of which have required the driver to be rescued. In one case, the semi collapsed over I-65 in a ball of flames. Dillon drives the area daily and has also responded to crashes there.
It's almost like being on a concrete floor of a shop. When it's wet, you slip and slide, and we don't drive small vehicles, and they're heavy, and they need something to grip on the road.
Accident reports from all 4 crashes show the road condition as wet and the weather as rainy.
Speed, the rain, the conditions of the roadway, and then also the sudden lane change.
Suburban Towing is contracted through the city to respond to crashes like the 4 since May. Kyle Goff believes this treatment will help, but says road signs are also causing drivers to make quick lane changes out of the lane headed to the Jefferson Street exit.
They do not know that that is actually a connector to 65 South as well.
We also asked about the effectiveness of the epoxy.
The high friction surface treatment has been used across the Commonwealth for more than a decade. It's particularly used with ramps or areas that maybe are more of a curve.
Part of this work also includes Hospital Curve, with the replacement of expansion joints to improve safety and stop the reoccurring of giant potholes like these right here. While towing companies are always ready to respond, they hope this treatment keeps the crashes from happening as often. In Louisville, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side. Again, we are at Hospital Curve where they're working to replace those expansion joints here, and that will help with those giant potholes that you just saw. Now, Goff with Suburban Towing did tell me that KYTC did come to the hospital curve area a while ago and put that same epoxy treatment that they're putting at Kennedy Bridge. He says that that's helped with them not responding to as much crashes in this area. Live on I-65 South, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 1119 on your side.
Clarice, thank you. Busy scenes there here at 11:05. Now, more local traffic news. Cars are zipping over it again, as you can see in our new video today. This is the Blackiston Mill Bridge connecting Clark and Floyd counties in southern Indiana. This comes after the 60-year-old bridge originally shut down on February 2nd due to a failure of the Blackiston Mill dam underneath the bridge. Now, just 3 weeks after getting permits to remove the dam and make repairs to the bridge, excuse me, 20,000 daily drivers can fly between Floyd and Clark counties once again.
I thought there was a better chance than not that we would never reopen this. Because you never know what you're going to get into cost-wise. Thankfully, the damage was limited primarily to the approach over there.
The dam removal went $20,000 over its $200,000 original budget. Half of that, though, was covered by Floyd County, the other half by a donation from the River Heritage Conservancy nonprofit. Well, it feels like 90 degrees here at 11 o'clock, and this heat will really test your will and stamina to be outside tomorrow. Always remember, check on your neighbors and make sure your pets are safe and cool. Chief Meteorologist Mallory Snell is here with me right now. Mallory, do we have any chances of thunderstorms tomorrow?
We do have a pop-up storm chance, but we're looking at about a 30% chance. And really, the better chance will be along and north of I-64. I think especially in southern Indiana, that's going to be throughout the weekend. One thing is for certain, yes, this heat and humidity will be lingering. Our heat advisory has been extended through Sunday due to our high temperatures in the 90s, dew points in the 70s, and those feel-like temperatures in the triple digits. So 92 degrees tomorrow, partly cloudy, a 30% chance for an afternoon or evening storm. I did flip our storm chances for this weekend, looking a little bit better by Sunday evening, especially once again in southern Indiana, 94, with overnight lows staying elevated in the 70s. But those feel-like temperatures, that's what will really get you with this high humidity. So by tomorrow afternoon, looking like a forecast heat index of right around 100 degrees, and those triple digits return again on Sunday and likely for at least the first 3 days of next week. Right now in Louisville, we are sitting in the mid-80s, but yes, it feels like the low to mid-90s still with that dew point of 74, your relative humidity at 67%. Overnight lows will drop down to the 70s area-wide, staying mild and muggy under partly cloudy skies. And once again, that heat advisory extended through at least Sunday, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is extended yet again through Wednesday of next week. But we'll talk much more about a long-awaited cool down in that 7-day forecast coming up. Doug.
Mallory, thank you. It's also been a busy Friday night of news from Metro Police. All new tonight, Metro Police making several arrests in shootings across the city. The arrests include teenagers as young as 15 years old. Metro Police arrested a 15-year-old for the shooting death of a 17-year-old Moore High School senior back on July 15th. Dunya Tahenya was found shot inside a home on Poplar Level Court. Tahenya was taken to the hospital where he later died. A GoFundMe account started to help raise funds for his funeral. Notes that Tahenya was born in a refugee camp and came to the United States in 2016. The 15-year-old has been charged with murder, tampering with physical evidence, and resisting arrest. Metro Police also making 4 arrests in connection with a shooting that happened early Thursday morning. Arrest citations say a man was feeding some stray cats when a black SUV pulled up right behind him and 2 people got out. The victim says he got in his car and started driving away when 2 people opened fire on him, hitting him in the arm. Court documents say 20-year-old Delquan Glass admitted that he and a 17-year-old fired shots at the victim's car. Glass also told police that a 16-year-old was driving the SUV and that 18-year-old Amaya Thomas was in the passenger seat. Glass, Thomas, and the 2 teenagers have all been charged with assault. The arrest comes as Metro Police Chief Paul Humphrey ramps up his efforts to curb youth violence.
So we need to have real conversations about what we are doing to get to these kids before they ever end up having contact with the police or the criminal justice system. Before they end up in the hospital being a victim of a shooting. Before they end up in a grave as a victim, or they put somebody else there.
That's the chief speaking at 9 a.m. this morning at the Bishop's Table, held by Bishop Dennis Lyons every Friday morning. The chief also apologizing again for the comments he made about murder victim Latasha White. The chief has been under pressure after he implied White's actions led to her murder. Humphrey revealing White was involved in a murder plot of her own before she was killed. The police chief has been meeting with community members over the past 2 days and asking them for support as LMPD works to curb violent crime. All new tonight, $6 billion in federal funding will officially be distributed to public schools across the country, including right here in Kentuckiana. Many superintendents were getting pretty nervous to start the new school year without this big financial support. WHAS 11 Night Team's Jose Alonso is talking with education experts in Louisville who say they're relieved.
And the uncertainty that the Department of Education and the federal government has created, that just makes life that much more difficult for school superintendents, school systems, and school boards.
As the new school year approaches Kentuckiana, New Albany, Floyd County schools are relieved to hear they're getting their near $600,000 in federal funding.
We were cautiously optimistic the whole time that it was just a freeze and a temporary freeze. That's what we were hoping. But again, we weren't sure. We weren't getting definitive answers.
Superintendent Travis Madison says grants fund mental health services, social services, and workers across their campuses, programs he calls vital for families.
We're relieved and happy with the news that we got today.
That news, the U.S. Department of Education moving forward with releasing $6 billion in federal funds.
So it was not just the big urban districts, it was small rural districts. And everybody was feeling the pain. Now, obviously, it was a bigger dollar amount in Jefferson County than it would have been, say, in Floyd County, Indiana, or Bullitt County, Kentucky. But the impact is still the impact.
Education consultant Sam Corbett says most of these funds go to teacher training during the summertime. The largest school district in Kentucky, JCPS, is looking at getting more than $10 million. In a statement, the district says, quote, "We are relieved the U.S. Department of Education made the right choice for public school students by releasing this essential funding, which ensures the continuity of high-quality instruction and vital student services."
I think we would have found a way to make it work, but I think we just had to be creative and be strategic. In the meantime, we would have had to dip into a little bit of those reserves, and you certainly, you want to watch doing that because those aren't going to be around forever either.
Sam, as being a former member of the JCPS board, what's going through your head whenever you're seeing all of this turbulence?
Well, turbulence is a good word. Uncertainty is a good word. Chaos is maybe even a better word. And you don't want to run big school systems like JCPS under those terms, those conditions. So we'd like to see a little more stability.
Schools can now take a breath of relief for now as they enter the first day of school. Jose Alonso, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
And the New Albany Floyd County School Superintendent encourages parents to stay informed if they have any concerns or questions, to let them know, and they'll do their best to be as transparent and clear as possible. U of L has now removed scholarships from its website that are under investigation by the Trump administration for civil rights violations. The administration is investigating 3 scholarships, one directed for undergrads who are undocumented or DACA recipients, another for Latino and Hispanic students, and finally a scholarship for LGBTQ plus students of color. One U of L faculty member is raising some concerns, however. State Representative Jason Nemes says removing these scholarships puts the university in line with federal law.
I'm not a civil rights expert, but it seems like it's certain types of scholarships they're going after. Eliminating these scholarships is a serious deal.
There's nobody that should be getting any benefit that those Kentucky kids shouldn't be receiving. That's what the law is. And the universities should be following the law whether they agree with it or not.
U of L did not provide a comment to WHAS 11 News on this subject. They did confirm they were notified of the investigation on Tuesday, and they're now reviewing the claims.